Hi folks, Dr. Bali here. Welcome to Value Add. So today we're talking about how we can create, ensure that we are calm and at ease in most situations in life. Now, I'm not an expert at this. Obviously, I've not done some special studies on this, but this is something that is very important for me and something that I, value in everyday life, to just have that sense of peace with whatever you're doing. So, what are the ways in which, firstly, in which areas of your life do you happen to, lose your calm? Like, what are the exact situations that show up? So, one is the most obvious one, that, you are either pissed off or you're angry at whatever any of your people that you deal with in your day-to-day life, right? Another thing that may happen is that you may actually lose your calm where, okay, you are anxious about something. So that's one obvious thing. So anxiety is one aspect of it. Another aspect that may lead to this, hey, there's a nice view behind, thought I'll put that in as well. Another way in which you can lose your calm is where you are excited about something, but that's generally assumed as a good thing, but too much of it may just be not that helpful. What else? Where else does one lose their calm? I think these are the major ones, right? Let's just start with anger, and then we'll kind of move to the other ones. So first of all, now let's look at the different aspects, right? Okay, so if you are talking about say something is making you angry, now what does that mean? That generally means that there's something that needs to be done better, and that's a sign for a change. So anger isn't always necessarily a bad thing. It can also mean that, okay, that there is some you can say like a requirement in you that wants something to change, something to get better, something to not be the way it is. But when that need becomes too much, that's when the problem happens, right? That's when you are like going through, and it's your emotions are going through an excessive hyperdrive, and that's one way of looking at it. But end of the story, you want to be able to deal with it. You want to be able to address it, right? When it's difficult, when things are kind of, especially in the heat of the moment, right? How do you address that then, right? So let's see. Let's just take one random example. Okay, now you are talking to someone, they say something to you, or they don't do something that was expected of them, and then the natural thing is going to be that you're going to feel angry about it. But at the same time, you say, okay, is this anger going to help my situation? Sometimes even the mind justifies, says yes, it will help, and that's where you have to understand the lies there, the lies that we tell ourselves, that the mind automatically by default is going to tell itself that it's justified, but it's not, right? Because at the end of the day, you know that, okay, if you're going to allow yourself to move in that direction and just be, okay, fine, I have lost my temper, and doesn't matter, you're gonna justify it, then obviously you're not going to do anything about it. So the first thing is acknowledging that it's there, and it's not something that's acceptable to you, not to anyone else, but to yourself. And then once that is done, then you can do something about it. Then you can say, okay, fine, let me see if I can control it. And that decision is the most crucial thing, I believe. Just the fact that you acknowledge that you want that change to happen within you. Second decision is that once you have decided that you want that change, no matter what happens, no matter how justified it may seem in that moment, you may think it's not in your control even to control your anger. And that's where you want to say, okay, fine, how can I, okay, let me look at whether it's actually true or not. Because most of the times, in fact, pretty much all the time, you may justify it to yourself. You may say, okay, fine, this is not at all in my hands, and it's gone. And I even the words go like that I lost my temper, right? Like, so, but when you're going to talk like that language itself is an indication of your mind saying that, okay, I've given up. But that's the thing, it is actually in your control. And the way, if your mind does not grasp that, and then because of that you're not able to do anything about it, at least you can take some effort to control it. Maybe it might help, maybe it may not help. At least try. What happens, the biggest problem in that moment happens is that you won't even try. You're going to give up. You're going to stop, like, okay, fine, I can't do this. I have to outburst. I have to, kind of release that anger, pent up anger inside, and you want to. So you can actually take a decision that no matter what, I'm going to at least try. I'm going to at least do everything in my capacity to stop it. And then whatever method you apply doesn't matter. But as long as you take the effort. Then there is the fact that can you actually prevent yourself from taking an action in that anger, even if in the moment you're not able to control that anger and you're still trying, but still it's there. Well, yes, of course, because anger inside is an emotion, but an action based out of that anger can also be avoided. So that's also a mental choice that you have. If you've decided that that's not acceptable from my side, that I'm not going to allow that to continue. So that is another thing to look at. These 3-4 aspects of it, just to get a hang on on yourself, just to be able to hold on and not like lose that emotional what do you say, that barrier, to just go beyond. Just the effort itself is enough. So hope these things help you. But another major thing that so one we said was the anger aspect, right? But there's also the aspect of your anxiety. Now, if you're going to be anxious about something, that is another way you're going to lose your state of calm. Now, what do you do about that? What do you do about if you're not able to even just be calm just because you're worried about something, you're anxious about something? It could be just you could be petrified about something. That's the highest level that you can imagine, right? And in that direction. So in that moment, what is the answer? I would say it's the same thing, literally. The decision that you're not going to accept that out of yourself. See, it's not a bad thing that you're feeling a sense of fear, because again, it's helpful. It's a helpful tool. So you can take the action related to it, but you don't have to feel the emotion of anger or of fear or anxiety. That's not needed. That's only causing you harm. You got the indication, okay, this is a sign that you need to take care of. But after that, you can take a decision that I'm not going to accept that beyond a certain point. And that is because that's your choice. You are actually able to do something about it. So take that decision that, okay, I'm not going to accept it. And same ways, you're not going to allow yourself to go in that direction. You're going to be like, okay, fine. Even if I'm not able to control that anxiety, fear, I'm not going to let myself, act in that way, behave in that way, and eventually you're going to get a grasp over it. It is going to happen, because it's not going to, it cannot stay for too long. Anxiety, anger, and of course excitement. Now, excitement is generally the spectrum where you think that, okay, this is actually better. This is it's okay to be excited about things, right? Of course it is, and that's a sign of celebration, right? But at the same time, if that is becoming so much that you're not able to just keep a grasp over yourself, the next thing that you want to do is get a hang over your emotions. And now the best way to do that over a long period is start observing your body and stay centered with your body. And so meditation, being present to the moment, practicing that, that helps you kind of deal with many of the issues that lead to these emotions. Not just excitement, but of course even with anger. And because anger is a simple word, but it's such a vast emotion that so many aspects of your life get taken over with this. So I hope all these things kind of give you some new insight, yeah. And that was the intention. I'm no expert, but this is something that I've learned, and hope this helps you. Cheers. Save water, liberate self.